Good day. Welcome to today's video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to see what I have to say. So thank you. Today I want to talk about identity. Identity in our societal structures and societal norms. The identities we give to ourselves, the identities we form, the identities we develop through years of experience, through traumas, through surroundings. These identities become part of our way of life. It becomes part of how we see ourselves and how we think the world sees us. That's a very big thing nowadays, is how the world sees us, right? And we neglect how we see ourselves. We're so focused on creating these identities, right? Creating these structures surrounding ourselves that we created out of ignorance. Ignorance of knowing who we truly are deep down within ourselves. Ignorance of knowing what we are beside our identities. Society plays a big part in assigning identities to us through mental programming, through structures of reality, and through our upbringing as well, through education systems, and also through how society views itself as a collective, as a whole. Sometimes these identities are assigned to us from a young age. The masks are put on us from people that surround us. And it gets to us from a very young age, because that is when we develop. That is when we develop our relationship with our surroundings. And we develop that relationship with ourselves. So when you are constantly bombarded by ways how other people see you, it creates your self-image. It creates pieces of a puzzle that you form for yourself, and that puzzle becomes your mask, your identity in the society. We put on the mask from a very young age. This mask is developed through a lack of understanding of who we are truly within ourselves. Or sometimes forgetting who you are beside your masks and your identity. Now in society, these identities are categorized into certain classes, certain relations, certain statuses. And if you form part of that certain dynamic, it immediately creates your identity. And then you start identifying with outward material things. That is when you lose your true identity. It's when you start to identify with things that are not truly aligned with who you are in yourself and in your soul. It's when you start identifying with the projections of other people to who you are. When someone believes you to be someone that you're not, and believes it long enough, then you start believing that yourself. When people point a finger and they tell you that this is who you are supposed to be, this is who you are, then you start believing that. We start identifying so much with our identities that society has given us that it creates this inner conflict that we do not know how to process. So we search in these external things to build our character around, to build our identity around. So our identity is built on societal norms, on ways other people see ourselves, and building blocks of pieces of a mask that we do not understand ourselves. It gets to a point where you are so lost within that identity that your inner being starts to project in many different ways that you cannot control. That is called the id in psychology. It is when your deeper inner consciousness starts to awaken and it starts to break open that mask. When we step out into society, we are so focused on the little things, our little small details of what makes us who we are, our little things that contributes to our identities, that we walk out as if we're wearing our masks, as if we're wearing our identities, that we seek so much approval of other people, that's how we build our identities. That's the main core of our building blocks. That we go out and we expect people to see us in the identity that we create for ourselves, instead of them knowing us for who we truly are. And that little bit of approval is what fuels your ego. It fuels the negative self-image, the negative self-identifying concept of the ego. One that we cannot escape, one that we cannot truly release.